Hello everyone. For today's lesson we will be going through adjacent and vertically opposite angles. As you can see in the diagrams over here, there are a few properties and criteria that you need to know for these angles. So let's begin. So the first one up is our adjacent angles. You know what the word adjacent means? It means next to. So this is just simply referring to the angles that are next to each other. But in order for you to refer the angles adjacent, they need to meet these three very important criteria given over here. They need to share a side, they need to share a vertex, they need to be on the opposite side of the common side, right? So now I'm going to go through one by one. They need to share a side. What I mean by that is A and B, they share this line over here. They share a vertex, that means they share a point on the corner that's they're coming out of. So A and B meet at a point over here. And then the angles need to be on the opposite side of the common side. Right, so A and B are on the opposite side of this line over here, right? So that you can call these two angles adjacent. And also in this diagram over here, they share a side, they share a point over here, and then they are also on the either side of this line over here. So you can also call these angles adjacent. All right, let's go through a few examples over here so that you understand what I mean. Now, I've got the first example over here. They share a side, they share a point over here. Then they are on either side of this line. So you can call this diagram or these angles adjacent. Now, these angles A and B, they do not share a side, they do not share a vertex, so that you can simply just say these angles are not adjacent. And for this example, these two angles do share a vertex, however they do not share a line or a side, so you cannot call these two angles adjacent. Now, for this example down here, yes, these two angles share a side over here, or a line, or a raid, if you want to call it, but they do not share a vertex, because here, this is the vertex for A, and this is the vertex for B, so these two angles are not adjacent. Now, for this example, they share a line, they share a vertex over here, and then they are also on the opposite side of the line that they share. So yes, these angles are adjacent over here, and here is they share a line on the opposite side of the line that they share, and then share a vertex. Hence, these are your adjacent angles. Now, if you want to pause the screen right now so that you can jot these examples down, please do so, and we are gonna go ahead with our vertically opposite angles. So now, these are vertically opposite angles. There are two things that you need to know. Vertically opposite angles are made by intersecting lines. So that means that there are two lines that need to go across each other, and then the angles that are formed by those two lines would be vertically opposite angles, and they are equal. So now, you know what the word vertical means. It means that they're on a Cartesian plane. If it's vertical line, then you're talking about y-axis. But the word vertical, it could also mean in line with, right, or directly opposite. So it could be directly at the top, or directly at the bottom, or directly the opposite sides. So they are simply just referring to the angle that is opposite, right? So over here, when you look at this, A and directly opposite at the bottom is also A, and they are equal. If you look at B over here, directly opposite on the right is also B, and they are equal. So now, let's say, you can ask questions like, okay, why not A and B? If you look at this diagram, A and B are not vertically opposite angles because they are on a straight line. You can call them angles on a straight line, or adjacent angles if you want, but they are not vertically opposite angles, and they won't be equals. So make sure that you are writing all this information down, and make sure that you are doing the exercises so that you understand these angles a little bit better. Thank you for listening, guys.